Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial on Rebar Sets. So I'm gonna make an attempt to explain Rebar Sets and its fundamentals and how to make the most out of it. So you can see here I have let's make this a bit long. Let's make it maybe around 8 meters. It's just a dummy beam that I have here, which is 800 by how much is the width? 800 by 400, and it's a bit long. Let's make it okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hide the grid as well. I don't need to see the grid. So I have to reinforce this beam, okay? And I have a few connections that go into the beam as well. So let's start with it, and we'll see as we go. So I go to rebar here. Then I have crossing, longitudinal, biface, and pi guidelines. So let's start with crossing. And you see, the moment I pull my thing here, it just tries to capture it, and then I can either use one of these or just press the middle mouse button and it puts all of them in. Now if I select them, you can only see this line here, which is a guideline. You see this little cone over here. This left side is the start point and the apex is the end point. Yeah, probably end point, yeah. There's a few more things that come along with this, which are not visible now. So let's go with this little pane that you see here. Let me see if my settings are visible here now. All right, not this one. Maybe let's see this one. This little pane that you see here. It has most of the functionality. These would be mostly used to put the rebar sets in. So let's just detail this now. What I want to show you is turn them all off. Now I can see this is the start, this is the end. I don't know if it moves or not. Let's see if it moves. Yeah. Okay, those start and end points are of the beam. They're not of the they're not of the rebar set. So at the moment, this the rebar set, you can only see the rebar and select it. What else you can do is you can go click on this one, and then you can select the rebar inside the rebar set. It's gonna be more evident when we do a few things with this rebar set in a minute when I show you. And this is something you can select in individual bar. I don't know what you're gonna do with that, but just so that you know, these three buttons work this way. So now I'm gonna keep it back on this, and let's go with leg faces. Let's see what leg faces are. I'm gonna just make this maybe this thing. Let's give it a color that is maybe 1. And these ones, let's make them as 4, so that you know they are visible properly. Okay. You see this little button here? When this is turned off, no matter what you do, you can't see any of these visibility stuff. So it's kind of useless when this direct modification needs to be on. So let's click this, You see this grid line, this leg face appears. Now what happens is, each of this leg face is basically telling telling Tekla that it needs to have a rebar along this face, and you can select these faces individually. So if I now, for an instance, select this, see this view updated, and I move this back, you see, up to the place where it had this view, it's covering it. But from the place where I don't have that, it won't do that. So this leg face is basically just attached to the surface, And that's how Tekla knows that it has to draw a rebar over there. Now you would be saying who's gonna be using this kind of a link? It's kind of useless. You might wanna be putting a shape code, say a 51 or 52 link with hooks over here. So in a minute I'll show you how to do that. So you'd select this. Now you'll see another rebar set little thing appear over here. So there's multiple things. Property modifier. Anything that you see here is a property of this rebar set. And by using this, you can locally modify these properties. This end modifier is, if you remember, I don't know if you can see it over here or not, but in normal rebar you have the possibility, the rebar groups, you have the option to draw the. Okay, let's throw in the rebar group here you have the option to put in a now just I haven't drawn it fully, but you have the start and end hooks and the cover and cover thickness at start and end. You get these properties when you use the end detail modifier. So you see over here you can add hooks over here. So the moment when I put a thing here, it'll put that hook there, and when I apply another one, it's gonna put another hook there. Now as I showed again before, the end modifiers, you can turn this off and you can just have the end modifiers on. Now I might have a situation where I have only a few bars that need to have the end hook or something like that. So you see these other ones, it's taken the hook, the second bend off from the other ones. I'm gonna leave it like that. Another thing that I can do is typically this is something that happened, like you'd want to have maybe a meter length over here where you want to densify the, you want to have the spacings to be reduced. So what you can do is now again select this and then go to property modifier, and it says pick a start position. Let's just throw it here. Okay, now we can't see it, but if I go here now, I can see that property modifier. So when I select it now, I want it to modify distribution, and I want the target rebar spacings to be like maybe 150. You see it's changed for the entire thing, but I only want it to be a meter. So let's make it a meter and 1500. It works. And again, I am gonna attempt to copy this now. See, I was able to copy the modifiers as well. So if I select this now, I'll have two property modifiers where I have the spacings as zoomed in, or not zoomed in as such, like but in a way, the spacing is less over here and more in the middle, and then less over here. And let's just get rid of this one now. Again, now the beam looks like it doesn't has any of the other bars in here. So let's just put in a few bars, and then let's go with longitudinal one. Okay, and again, no. With the thing with rebar sets is you need to know where you are clicking. So let's, if longitudinal means I have to give it this cross section, and let's put the bottom ones for now. It has added these 3 bars. Before I do that, yeah, if you remember, I spoke about this thing. Now rebar groups, okay? So this, you see, it's highlighted only this much. You see, if I select here, it only highlights this much. It only highlights this much. But if I keep it here, this is a full rebar set. But if you click on this button here, select rebar groups, and this is how it basically would allow you to select groups. Another thing is, let's turn this off and turn on color group thing. So over here, Tekla will tell you that although it has one rebar set, the three of them are three different groups over here. They're different kind of, maybe the spacing is different or the property is different, but it shows you the division of the rebar groups. So I can turn this off for now. This comes in very handy now. In a minute, I've started with a simple geometry, but with due course of time, I'm gonna make it a bit complicated, and that's when you're gonna see how rebar groups shines. See, rebar set shines. Okay, let's put this bar now. Where is that? This longitudinal. Alright, and these are my bottom bars. But what I need to do is basically, for now, let me get their properties. Okay, now I'm gonna select this again and select here. See, I had to switch back to this one, otherwise it was doing something that was not making sense. So select this one again. Okay, now it's putting in 3 bars here. So you see, this offset is automatically calculated. Now if I was to, I don't know if this is quite a useful trick. I have WT as my where's this edit work plane tool thing. Where do you get that again now? Yeah, so work plane tool, I have set it as WT on my keyboard, and I make this as the work plane. Now when you make this as work plane, okay, and then when you hit shift P, sorry, it's not shift P, control P, come on, go this, make it go away, right? Okay, it becomes like this. This little toggle is very handy. So because we are using rebar sets, the layering is, we get to use functionality of layering. And how does the layering works now? To show you that, I'm gonna go back to rebar set over here and go to visibility again, show the leg faces. So this, when I hover over this one, it tells me that it's layer 2. So if I make it layer 1, it's gonna flip in, and when I make it layer 2, it's gonna come in. And you can do the same thing with this one as well. So if I go to this one, if I make this as layer 2, see, these 2 bars are clashing. And then, or else what you can do is, there's another way as well. You can basically click on that bar, click here, this one, move to the outermost layer. So you see these bars flip over. So just imagine doing this with rebar groups. This is very handy either way. So I did not create a view or anything, but just set the work plane to a tool to the view that I wanted to have, and then I basically set this up so that I can see this thing. Now my design is having 4 bars, or let's make it 6 bars. Okay, not by count number of reinforcing bars, and let's make it 6 bars. Okay, so Tekla has put in 6 bars over here. Now the design may not make sense, but I'm just making it like this because I want to demonstrate a few things here now. And I'm not sure, but let's see if I can do this as well. When I have this activated, and I go here and select this. It's gonna do that on the top. Okay, and let's put a few bars on the sides as well. We could either go by face, click, done. Click and done. So we're gonna reduce this on this one's spacing now. Let's maybe get around 3 bars over here. Or maybe just 2 bars. Okay. So I got these bars in the middle. I'm gonna have my other bars over here. Now the bottom would actually I won't be too happy with 12, so I'm gonna make that 25s. Alright, it's heavy enough now. On the top, let's make these 16s. Let's go with 20s. Okay. So now my beam has quite a bit of reinforcement chunky now. Although there's a bit of detailing in terms like this is these are quite nearby, but we'll ignore those errors for now. I haven't modeled a grout tube here yet, but let's put in a grout tube here. Let's take a beam. That's easy enough to modify. Let's just throw a beam here. For now, this beam, I'm just gonna select it and 80 by 1. So and okay. Now again, I'm gonna set my work plane to this and Control B so that I can get this. I'm gonna copy 2 of this now. Okay, and then copy this again over here. And then move these in by like maybe 200. Yeah, 200 looks like it'll do. And I have these are grout tubes now. These would be used for connection. So I'm just gonna call them as grout tube. Okay. And let's just add a bit of complication now. Let's make it a part cut. Yeah. Now we are gonna put that similar thing on the other side of the beam. Let's just take this off so that rebar is not selected. Select these. Okay. So now I have my beam. I have my reinforcement and everything in it. The problem that I have here is now I actually don't need all of this reinforcement to come up to the end. Also, the other thing is I don't need all of these bars to be H25s. What I need is I only need 2 H25s and the other ones can be H16s. Or maybe it's H12s as well. Or 16s is what we'll go with. So how do I achieve that? With the rebar group, you'd model a bar here, then mirror it over there and then change its cover. Or maybe, the plane on plane from plane distances to do this. Here it's very easy. You just select the property modifier. Okay, now you just basically, because here is your leg face, you just throw it somewhere. It doesn't need to be at a distance, but okay. And then I actually would advise you to keep the setting on. Okay, where's that now? Over here. This one. Now this setting, I'm gonna go to my top view again. I did not need I only need this to be like, 600 from on both sides. Sorry, not 600. Maybe 200 from both ends. So you see it's done to this thing now. So if I select this again, and I'd say modify distribution, no. Okay, so it won't mess around my distribution thing. But yeah, I do want the size to be different now. So I'm gonna go here again, go to P. Now we spoke about P12s, so let's put in a few P12s just for the sake of presentation. So what's gonna happen is, now you see over here, the ones on the ends are H20s and the other ones in the middle are H16s. Sorry, H12. Now what I'm gonna do is, maybe I don't want four of them. I only want three. So I'm gonna go here again. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is now, I have two options now. One, I can either go here and make this as 5 and it'll do this thing, or I can leave it like this. I can go here again and then select on this property modifier and make it yes, and just put this as number of bars. Do you see it somewhere? And we put it as 3. This also does the thing, but if you look at it, it's doing some spacing problem. So I'll edit that on in the from the main parent thing. So I go here again and I'll make it as 5 here so that the spacings are adjusted. I did that for a reason. I just wanted to demonstrate how easy it is to stop this path before the grout tube. At the moment it looks like it's clashing with my grout tube. So what I can do is, now I go here. If you remember on the rebar groups, you had an option to modify the end, like add a hook here, or add a hook here, or maybe change the cover or length or something like that. That can be done using end detail here. So let's throw an end detail. Now my visibility settings for the rebar sets would hide the end detail thing. Now you see all the bars have a hook here. So yeah, a hook here. Let's turn on the end detail thing. So I have my end detail guideline or line here. And now again, I don't want all the bars. I just want the bar that's clashing with the coupler with the grout tube to stop. So again, I will just press this button and pull it here. So when you hit this little arrow here, it snaps it to move it only in that direction. So it's a very handy little thing there. And like that's done. And now if I was to look at that, it's only one bar that has hook. But again, I don't want a hook. I want that bar length to be short. So you go here, you say no hook. Okay, there's no hook there now. Length adjustment, and I'll go with end offset, and this was at 200, so I'm just gonna make it 250, and I can do it the other direction. So you see it stops there. Now that I did it with this one, I can do the same thing again. I can copy this. Okay, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be here. It can be. It just needs to be halfway from the unit. So I'm gonna select it again. You see, it doesn't need to be at the exact same location. Because I basically just did I have copy shortcut on my Control C. So basically just Control C, selected this end here. Sorry, oopsies. Select this again. Select this. Control C. Now it's on my thing origin, and this is my destination. And you see that bar got shortened over there. So now I have 3 different lengths of bars. Just think of this. This is H25, 2 H12 in the middle, and then 2 H12s that are trimmed down. And now I'm gonna do another thing. I'm gonna see if I can copy or mirror them over. You know, those things, those ones. So now select this. Copy. Sorry, control select. Huh. Now even I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we'll find out. Yeah, I think it worked. Yeah, it did work. You see, I was able to trim it down over here just before the grout tube, and it went easily. Alright, that went well. What I might do is, let's see if we can delete this. Maybe mirror this entire thing up. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we'll figure it out. So I'm gonna set my work plane again to this way because I want my Z to point out. Yep. You see, I was able to get that thing on the top now. So my beam is reinforced on the top and the bottom. I can basically just make the go here now. And I don't want 25s, I want maybe 16s. 16s as the main, but the middle ones, because I have a modifier on them, they'll adapt to what the modifier says, which is fine. I'm not too concerned with that. Now what I need to do is, you see this looks like it's clashing, so I'm gonna go here, see if it allows me to change their spacings. So to change the spacings, what you do is you'd go here now, turn this off, guidelines. Okay, and select this guideline and this one. So you see how the settings that you usually get in the, what do you call it, the rebar group thing also appears over here. Then what I would do is basically click here, click on this. Now it won't do that because there's an end modifier in place over here. So I'm gonna go back now. Property modifier over here, that's an action. So let's see where my property modifiers are, which is this one. Okay, and let's see if it allows me to change the spacings. Okay, now click one here. Come on. It's added this bar over here if you look at that. And delete the one in the middle. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing on this side. So again, you have to select if there is a property modifier on it, you need to select the property modifier line and then modify the properties. Like changing the main properties won't do anything. So again, go here, click on this plus and this little plus here, and delete the one in the middle. That's done. And you see almost the entire detailing is done. There's there's a few things like let's put in a few closure look NU bars or something. The way I would do it is like there's multiple ways you can do it. Let's go with crossing now. Crossing, and this time select like this. Okay, and now click this line, hold Control, and this line, and hit middle mouse button. So it'll put these bars in here. And now I want these bars to be H12. Okay, maybe H10. Yeah, H10s. Okay, and now you might say that they're going up to the end, but here's a little thing that you can do. Select this, and like you might see that I'm toggling this on and off a lot, but most people would just do it using the Alt button or something like that. So you don't actually need to have them on the entire time. Now I want my leg length to be maybe not 8,000 but 800. So you see, same thing on this side. 800. Oh, sorry. And if I click here now, I want this to be layer 2, not layer 3. It should come out. Or is it layer 1 already? Yeah, that is layer 1 already. And it should not be layer 3 but layer 2. Select this. Okay. Now I did it for demonstration. I put them as like this. You could also put them, depending on your design of the end block, you could put them in like the vertical ones. So to anchor the vertical rebar in, but just to show how you do that. Now the easiest way to get them on the other side is again set your view plane to this plane. Okay, and then side, yeah. Copy special error. So this comes up over here then. So as you see, this beam is almost fully detailed. Now there's multiple things as well that could happen. You would say your stock length is only maybe 7 meters or something, and you need a splitter, connection thing in the middle. So you could end up putting a splitter here. Okay, let's put it. You see, this distances at the bay that are appearing at the bottom on the left side. They're very handy. Like you're able to easily look at them and align the splitter location. Now my splitter is not visible because it's turned off. So let's put the splitter here. Again, the best thing is because the direct modification thing, you're able to just basically come on. Okay, maybe not. Let's do one thing. This lap may not be that popular, but let's go with the cranking. Okay, this looks like it's good. Just imagine trying to crank these bars using the normal reinforcement bars. By default it takes the lap lengths based on the library of the lap lengths that it has, and accordingly it sets the cranking. I won't get into too much detail now if the video is already long, but you can move this lap length. Don't put it in the center though, but you get the idea where to put them in. Alright, that's a little bit about Rebar Sets, and we might do another one soon then. Thanks for watching.